Hi everyone, today I will be teaching you how to use reports to optimize your fleet management and how to use ZenScore to keep track of drivers and fleet metrics. Our overall goal today is to help you improve fleet management and driver behavior, so we can do this by first attending this webinar training, then downloading ZenScore, the mobile app that is available in the Play Store and the App Store. After that, spending some time setting up reports that are beneficial for your fleet, and adding reports that are needed regularly on your dashboard. The last thing to ensure you become an expert in fleet management is by completing some exercises at the end of the presentation. Now, the training agenda includes going over the 5 pillars of return, a fleet policy that you can communicate to your drivers as the first step to ensuring that your fleet is running efficiently. Then we will be going over ZenScore as seen on your dashboard as an admin. Then we will be showing you how to utilize the dashboard reports and change report settings. I will then summarize what you can do in order to ensure you're successful in managing your fleet. Then the last 2 points in the agenda will include a checklist of setting up ZenScore and reports, as well as exercises for you to complete, as well as how to communicate with GoFleet in order to reach a support agent. First off, why am I stressing the importance of reports? Well, reports that you have available to you display information that you can use to manage your fleet better. Using that data, you're able to make good business decisions. So ZenduIT has divided these data sets that we received from the Go devices into categories called pillars of return, which are different areas of your business that we want to help you optimize. These pillars of return include productivity, fleet, safety, compliance, and expandability. The first step to ensure that your drivers are employing best practices when driving is to communicate what their responsibilities are and what your company goals are when looking at fleet metrics. We have a sample fleet policy that can be shared with you in order to help you get started. The sample fleet policy is meant for you to use as a template that you can edit based on what your fleet requires. Some of the clauses that it contains are a policy for use of company vehicles, driver responsibilities and conduct, driver safety program goals, driver compliance requirements, and an accident management program. When you first click on ZenScore, you will always first see the View Reports tab. This includes a summary of certain key performance indicators or KPIs for today, last 7 days, last 30 days, and last 90 days. So you can see your fleet's improvement over time. So at the top, you have different tabs. You have the View Reports tab that we're on right now, the dashboard, slideshow, driver score, and contests. And we will be going over all of these in this presentation. Here's where your selected KPIs will be shown. You can also customize a target that you'd like your fleet to achieve. The red values show that a certain KPI requires more improvement to reach the target. Clicking on this Fleet Manager score will pop up a checklist for the Fleet Manager to go through. The Fleet Manager score includes some installation videos, My ZenduIT training videos, and links to download the My ZenduIT app. Clicking on the Settings button on the top right will give you the option to change reports by driver or device, displayed as a ratio or a sum, and change the measurements from the metric system to the imperial system. You will be able to choose the minimum distance for a driver or device to drive in order to be scored. You can also upload a fleet policy that will be displayed to all the drivers on the driver app, and also upload a company logo. On the video settings, you are able to view the default videos that GoFleet has created as driver training videos. Here, you can also add your own videos and edit or delete any of the default ones that don't pertain to your drivers. In the Rules tab, you are able to customize the KPIs that you see on the View Reports tab and Driver Score tab. You can select your rule, the target you want your fleet to achieve, if the target is a minimum or a maximum, and if you want it to be visible on the View Reports tab. Lastly, you can set up emailed reports. either daily, weekly, or monthly for various KPIs. You can select the time you want it sent, which datasets, and which users receive the email. On the Dashboard tab, you are able to create dashboards that display various graphs or widgets. You are able to change the date range that the data shows up for. You can add as many widgets, full screen the dashboard, as well as add, edit, and/or remove any dashboards. You can also choose which groups will have their data displayed on the dashboard. The Slideshow tab displays specific dashboard reports for a selected amount of time that you can adjust by clicking the Settings button right here. Now, the Driver Score tab shows you a list of your drivers or devices ranked based on the score accumulated by averaging their scores on the KPIs that you choose to display. You are able to download an Excel file of this information and also add a driver as a user to my GeoTab without even leaving the ZenScore add-in. Clicking on the device or the driver hyperlink here will allow you to edit some details about the user or the vehicle. You can also change the date range by clicking up here, and you can view the data by driver or device, ratio or totals, and then change the measurements from kilometers to miles. The Contest tab will allow you to create contests to offer an incentive and motivation for drivers to improve their driving practices. By clicking Add New Contests, you're able to customize the contest purpose, contest expiry, contest description, and reward description. Also, if only a certain group in your fleet needs improvement, you are able to just administer that contest to only that group. Now on to dashboard reports. I will be going over some key dashboard reports that can help you manage your fleet better by utilizing the information displayed in order to cut down costs and improve driver behavior. When you log into your MyGeoTab database, the first page that you see is your dashboard. That includes graphs that visually show you how your fleet is doing. If you click on any dashboard report, you'll be able to download a detailed Excel report. When you open that Excel file, there will be a preview of the dashboard chart. But if you look at the bottom here, there are multiple sheets that are included in the Excel file that have additional detailed information. Sometimes when looking for the report or the data sheet, you need to right-click on the bottom panel to unhide a sheet called Report or Data. In that sheet, you will see the date period for that report, as well as the various metrics that were pulled from my GeoTab in order to create this report. Going back to the 5 pillars of return, the productivity pillar focuses on how efficient your fleet is being based on the time spent in customer versus work zones, idling time, and fleet utilization. The weekly time card by activity report displays a bar graph showing how a driver's total time working is split between non-customer time, customer time, driving duration, and after-hours driving. Using this information, you can set expectations for your drivers. The utilization report here shows how many devices are in the yard versus outside of the yard. You can use this information to maximize the amount of vehicles utilized in order to increase productivity of your fleet. To ensure that your fleet is efficient, ensuring that your devices are communicating properly is very important. GeoTab pulls engine data, odometer readings, fuel consumption data, and fill-ups data that is automatically recorded. So as you can see here, the watchdog report shows you the exact number of devices that are communicating offline for a certain amount of days or are simply not installed. The driving versus utilization report here shows you the percentage that each vehicle has been driving. From these reports, you can see if your devices are being used to ensure fleet optimization, and whether your fleet is minimizing idling. Safety is one of the most important pillars because as a fleet manager, you need to ensure that drivers are conducting themselves safely on the road. The objective is to limit speeding, sharp cornering, after hours usage of vehicles, over acceleration, braking habits, and seatbelt usage, as driver safety depends on these factors being managed correctly. The posted road speeding incidents report here shows you how much over the speed limit your drivers are going. So each data point is the speeding incident that occurred. Now you can monitor the drivers that are contributing to speeding violations and categorize which drivers are demonstrating more severe driving behaviors. You can also use the driver scorecard to display different rules a driver breaks, such as speeding, harsh cornering, idling, harsh braking, hard acceleration, and when the driver fails to wear a seatbelt. The compliance pillar is essentially used for hours of service, where it tracks drivers' duty status logs in on duty, off duty, sleeper berth, or driving, as it is MCSA compliant. It logs drivers' vehicle inspection reports as well as compliance reports that drivers would have to show an officer. The severe HOS violations cost report attributed the penalties against HOS to a cost so that as a fleet manager, you know the amount of money that is attributed to violations. And there is also a basic driver score that shows speeding incidents, after hours driving, idling, and average demerit points so that as a fleet manager, you can view the drivers that are being compliant to best driving practices. Now, expandability is the last pillar of return that essentially expands the usage of GeoTab devices through integrations such as PaperDodo, Zendu Maintenance, and On Command. PaperDodo reduces the paperwork burden of scheduling jobs and rearranging work to maximize profit while reducing excess miles and hours. Zendu Maintenance is a powerful maintenance management system that allows you to run your entire maintenance operation more effectively and efficiently from your mobile app or within My GeoTab. Zendu Maintenance includes work order management, preventative maintenance scheduling, inventory and parts management, purchasing, custom reporting, and maintenance cost accounting tools. OnCommand offers a solution to your vehicle's fault codes by notifying the fleet the fault is there and showing them where to go and get the repairs made fast. So let's just look at an example of an integration. Zendu Maintenance is a ZenduIT product in which you can manage your maintenance. Here is a view of the technician's dashboard, which shows you work orders that need to be completed and work orders that are overdue. On the left-hand side, we have a Reports tab that an administrator can run. Now that we have taken a look at all of these reports that are on our dashboard, we want to learn more about customizing some of the report settings. So, as an admin, if you click Administration here, you click Reports and then Reports Views, this will show up. You will see a combined list of dashboard and emailed reports. In this view, you also have the option to add an Excel file report, add an active graph, and show all reports, which will include some default or built-in reports as well. If you need to look for a specific report, you are able to use the search bar. If you look at a certain report, such as the Utilization Report right here, you can see that at the top it says that it's a dashboard report and that it shows data for today and refreshes every 30 minutes. When you choose a report by simply just clicking on it, you will have the option to choose if you want to display it on the dashboard or have it emailed. You can also change the users that can view the report. You can change the date range for that report and the refresh period. Some reports include additional report options that allow you to run the report by driver or device, as well as choose which exception rules you want included. So now that we have thoroughly gone through ZenScore and touched on some important dashboard reports, let's summarize how we can measure successful fleet management. First off, our objective is to improve fleet management and driver behavior, and they go hand in hand, as improving driver behavior can really increase the efficiency and productivity of your fleet. Next, we need to implement a fleet policy with drivers explaining their responsibilities in achieving your business goals. So the first strategy is to enable rules on ZenScore so you can measure and monitor how many times those rules are being triggered. Then we need to set up and check your dashboard reports regularly to be updated on your fleet's progress, and if you see many rules being broken by drivers, you can start incentive programs through ZenScore contests. This will motivate drivers to improve their driving practices in order to help you achieve your final goal of improving your fleet through managing driver behavior. Now that we have gone through the best practice reports and ZenScore training, here are a checklist of exercises that you can do yourself to get more familiar with reports and use them effectively to enhance your business. If you need further support, we have various resources available. You can sign up for other training sessions by going to gofleet.com/support. You are also able to contact your customer success manager with specific questions by emailing success@gofleet.ca. If you need to reach a sales agent, you can do so by emailing sales@gofleet.com. If there are issues that require support, you can submit a support ticket to support@gofleet.com or call 1-888-998-1122 extension 2. If further training is required, you may sign up for a professional onboarding package that is put in place to align company goals in safety and productivity with actionable business rules and reports. This onboarding would include one-on-one sessions for MyGeoTab groups, rules, report setup, assigning new users and vehicles to respective groups in an organizational structure that helps with reporting and best managing your fleet. You will be introduced to ZenScore and given guidance on setting up contests and key performance indicators to engage drivers in achieving business goals. You will be given a draft of a company memo for introducing telematics to your company and also a sample fleet policy which you can introduce into your hiring process for drivers. Following the process, you will be given action steps to follow through on 1, 2, and 3-month intervals to accomplish goals to reduce costs and improve driver performance. The Success Manager will set up quarterly reviews for the first year to evaluate progress on a one-on-one session. Thank you for watching the Best Practice Report and ZenScore webinar. I hope it was informative and helps you manage your fleet effectively.